This is reporter Julie Spencer, and I'd like to welcome you to Newsline, Iowa City. Please join me today as we take a trip to the Iowa City Fire Department. Deputy Fire Chief Roger Jensen will give us some information about the department. Firefighter Axel Swanson will show us some of the equipment they use in the line of duty, and firefighter Will Shanahan demonstrates how he repels from tall buildings.
Welcome to the Iowa City Fire Department. Pleased to have you here today. We are a small department. There's 57 of us, 57 men and women. So we operate 3 fire stations. We have 16 people assigned to each shift. They work 24-hour shifts, so at 0700 each day there is a change of shifts. One group will had been here for 24 hours and they'll get to go home, and so they end up working a 56-hour work week. I refer to it as a regularly irregular schedule. It's a 9-day rotation. Now clearly if they're not necessarily awake and working for all of those hours, but they are subject to emergency calls, and it seems like as the number of calls increases, the amount of downtime or rest time keeps getting smaller and smaller every year.
Have the calls increased in recent years?
Oh, they have. Yeah, they've gone up steadily.
What do the calls consist of primarily?
By far, the largest percentage are emergency medical calls, where a person is either sick or injured. I believe it's near 70% of our responses are for EMS. Now, the number of fires, on the other hand, has gone down slightly, although it seems like property loss to fire remains pretty consistent from year to year. It kind of hovers right around that $1 million figure in our city.
Today I'm going to give you a tour of our newly acquired Engine 1. It's a Pierce engine acquired last year in July. And we're going to just go over briefly what our fire truck has and kind of talk about those, give you a little tour. One of the first things that we like to go to as a person who is in the jump seat, a firefighter who's in the jump seat, one of the main compartments that they'll go to if we have a structure fire or if we have a medical emergency is our tool compartment. And our tool compartment has all sorts of tools. Well, one of them that I'd like to point out in particular is what we called the married pair. The married pair has a flathead axe and a Halligan tool, a pry tool. Both of these in combination is some very basic tools that allow us to enter forcibly or do other tasks that on the fire ground. Very basic tool that is important in the fire service. Another thing that we have in our tool compartment is medical equipment. This is our oxygen airway bag, and this is our medical bag. In the back here, we have a variety of equipment that we have a chainsaw. We can use a chainsaw for ventilation, accessing a structure, different things, many uses for a chainsaw, very useful tool. We have spreader cutters.
What are the spreader cutters do?
For vehicle extrication, things like that. If we need to pry open a door, those type of things. A Sawzall, which is I can open that up, is a very useful tool. In fact, it's one of my favorite tools in vehicle extrication. Very simple and very effective. The Sawzall you can use to cut through a car in order to access somebody who potentially is trapped inside. In the back here, we have all our hose. The majority of our hose comes in the back. We have 5-inch hose. This is the hose that connects to the fire hydrants and will provide water supply to the engine. We have a pump in this engine. We have 750 gallons of water that's contained in this engine initially. That provides us roughly around a 4-minute supply of water if we're flowing it at a structure fire. So it's important that we connect to the hydrants so that we have water supply for any sort of structural fire that we confront. Right here in this bag, very important bag, is our hydrant bag. Has all the equipment that we need to hook this 5-inch line that I just showed you earlier to the hydrant and to the engine. So it has all the tools and equipment that you could need to connect to any hydrant in town. Right here we have a compartment. It's standard for frontline engines. Our ladder truck will have more ladders, but frontline engines will have a minimum set of ladders that we hold here. We have an extension ladder, typically 24-foot extension ladder, and we have roof and attic ladders also. Right here we have a variety of equipment, firefighting, mainly firefighting related. We got a bunch of nozzles. We have what we call a RAM nozzle. It's used as a master stream device. It can handle large volumes of water, remote, and we can set this up so we could do it remotely to potentially have a defensive attack on a major fire, provide protection to exposures and that type of thing. We also have lights if we're at night to help light up the scene. We, as a department, use a technique called positive pressure ventilation. This fan is for that purpose. It's a method of creating better visibility during a fire attack once we find the seat of the fire. The next compartment is our pump compartment. This is where we, pump operator, the driver of the apparatus, is going to pull make sure the water gets to where it needs to go. If we're pulling our 1 3/4 attack line, which is initially, in most cases, initially what's going to get pulled, this line is going to be pulled by a firefighter, and to the front door, the pump operator is going to say, okay, this is our #1 cross-lay water foam. He's going to go across to the pump panel, pull the lever down, and put the pump in gear, pull the lever down, and make sure water gets to the nozzle so that they can go in and attack an interior fire. So I'm going to show you our fire gear, and I'll just kind of go through how we suit up. We're going to suit up. We get a call. We want to put our fire gear on, and the first thing that we're going to put on is our bunker pants. They provide thermal protection and abrasion protection.
What are those called?
Our bunker gear, bunker pants, and we'll suit up like this. We'll put on a Nomex hood that provides fire protection. We'll put on our...
How heavy are these suits?
Anywhere between 25 to 50 pounds.
25 to 50, that's quite a bit. That's pretty heavy.
Well, I would say more on the 25 side.
Now,
I haven't actually weighed them.
Hot this summer when you have them on?
Yes. Like I said, it has thermal protection, so it'll protect you from outside, but it kind of acts as an insulator too. So if you work on these any particular period of time, you're gonna get hot in them. And then you're gonna put on your helmet, and away you go. And a lot of times, you know, you want to get in the engine and you want to get your air pack on and that type of thing. You could do that in the engine. You can do it while you're belted. There's a procedure for that. So one of the things you might notice is that we have added these reflective vests. These reflective vests, when we get out on the streets for a road emergency, we're wearing those at all times. So a lot of times you'll see these on. If this was a true structure fire, this they rip off, and you can just take them off like that, because these are not fire rated. So you have that reflective vest, it's off, and you can go into the structure fire.
Will, can you tell me a little bit about the repelling and what kind of equipment you have there?
Well, we've got, starts with the main harness that holds us in, keeps us.
And where's that at?
This,
right there?
all these belts around here, and looped around the legs and what have you. Got a harness to hold my radio so that I can keep that with me. This here is called a rappel rack. Basically we just wind the rope through this thing and we can control our descent with this. Carabiners. This is just a quick connection so that when we tie our knots, we have something to hook the hook through the loop, and then we can just clip it on. As you can see, these all lock in. We open them up, then we can just quick take it off. 5/8 rope here.
5/8 inch.
5/8 inch rope, rated for like 9,000 pounds. And we had you could see we had a main line that we were rappelling down. Then this is what they call the belay. So this, if there were something to happen to that main line, this is what would catch me. This is a secondary fall protection. So to make sure that if I do happen to fall or something does fail, I don't fall all the way to the ground.
What's it like when you rappel? How much control does it take? How do you do that?
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot. This rappel rack, basically, if I were to just throw the rope basically back up over this, I would stop myself completely. So
it's fail-safe then?
Yeah, just by rewrapping it, or just by putting a little bit of tension on these things going this way. When I go that way, they're wanting me to unhook up there, so I can actually just completely stop myself.
Now, do you do this yearly, the rappelling?
We do it actually a couple times a year. Do it a couple times a year in training, and then normally some crew will have the opportunity to do it at a real call every year, probably.
I see a very bright future, actually. We are in a position where many of the senior staff have a hair color that's similar to mine. And what that means is that in the next 5 years, there's going to be a significant turnover of command staff positions. But I think to our department's credit, our younger people have recognized that and are taking the initiative to put into place some plans for succession, so that without skipping a beat, we can move people into positions where they have the knowledge and the skills necessary to continue in a successful way. So I believe, that I believe the future is very bright. The city has been supportive of the fire department. I think the fire department has been responsive to what the community has to say about emergency service needs and what their expectations are, and so I believe as long as that connection is maintained, that this will continue to be among the best and better than the rest.
This program has been produced for Channel 18, PATV, Iowa City.